is that one room that had you that kept knocking you off the hill, the
Who's this?
tunnel. That's the the
Consulate.
Warforged that you met last week as well.
Oh,
Who right after your battle with the Centaur mummy seemed to go into a slight shutdown. In fact, that's Dovin come running over and trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this Warforged. I mean, he might be a druid, and Warforged are kind of like the opposite end of the spectrum there, since druid, natural, Warforged, anything but. But he has some knowledge of magic and all that, so he's busy trying to figure out what the hell's going on with Cogsworth. You guys also cleaned out some wells, found an odd key, uh, and are now staring at that green door, green slab of thing behind that door. Jade wall. Um, it disappears to be blocking the way. I mean, there's like tiny little gaps, small enough that they're large enough, but they're tiny. But they're large enough for Dovin in his spider form to get through and check things out, for example. So that kind of implies that there is something behind that. This green slab here. It's about 7 feet wide and 7 feet tall.
Nux is gonna try to push on the slab.
All right.
I'll assist.
All right. As soon as you attempt to push on it, it begins to fall towards you. Roll a dexterity saving throw, both of you, since Ebereth, you said you were helping.
Dexterity save.
Yeah, Noxie just kind of dances out of the way. Oh, and Abereth, both of you are fine as the green slab just kind of and kind of falls inward, leaving entirely empty space down into this corridor here. Yes, another corridor.
Noxie shows a sign. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Devin says, "That's an excellent idea. I'm gonna be staying in the back with our new metal friend. Make sure they're coming with us."
On my way out, can I just look at those urns? Did you say there were fancy urns in here?
I stopped moving. I don't like this. Noxie?
She
Sorry,
tilts her head up to you.
1 second. Libby was looking at the urns. Give me 1 second. To re-rate it's just tall urns shaped like wicker baskets, and they're filled with river stones. Meanwhile, the rest of the party has the following description. This 5-foot diameter passage is dry and dusty, and it shows no sign of having been used for ages. Near the top of the corridor walls, about 3 feet from the ceiling, stone lintels run the length of the passage. The corridor abruptly widens, which is currently where Topaz is standing, to a cube 15 feet on a side with a corrugated floor. In the ceiling of this area, a bronze circular trapdoor is set.
I'm diving for the far hallway.
Just reading the description, and that's okay. The cover is latched shut. In the four corners of this foyer are sets of metal rungs forming a ladder that leads up and across the arched ceiling to the trapdoor. The rungs are broken in several places, leaving rusty spikes. On the other side of this area, the corridor continues, where Topaz now is.
What's that do? No, Noxie, what's it do?
I look at it. Can I tell what it does just by looking at it?
The trapdoor? Roll a perception check.
No.
You just see a door, or hatch, rather, in the ceiling.
Noxie shows a sign. It may open.
Is that a way out?
Do we want to stack up and see?
How high is it? I mean, can it be climbed?
Well, roll a perception check, but also you did notice out of the corner of your eye that there are various rungs along the walls leading up to it. But yeah, it does look like it can be trapped. And in fact, as you stare at, as you like, glance around just to make sure that there's nothing else around, you notice, Topaz, that there's a secret door in this right up along the wall next to you. It's not directly next to you. In fact, it's kind of up a bit. It's let's see, it's about 8 feet above the floor, and it looks like it can be pulled down. But it looks like you'd have to climb up there to grab it, to get at it. And the only handholds be the lintel up near the ceiling.
All right. Well, seeing that, I'm gonna go ahead and leap up and try to do the Jean-Claude Van Damme thing and go into a split and hold myself up so I can reach the door.
Yeah, even I have watched at least 2 Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. Yeah. Let's see. You as a monk have a standing jump of what again? Something pretty fantastic, wasn't it?
Well, no. I mean, no. It's not without spending key, and I don't have any. So it's just
okay.
it's like 5 feet, and then 8.5 foot reach. So it's
give
just
me
normal.
give me a straight dexterity throw. You'll probably get it, but there's always a chance you might botch. It happens. Yeah, even with that, given that you're a monk and that you're pretty good, and it's only about 8 feet above you, and you can jump that high, you easily jump up, grab at the thing, and just push it. Kind of push into it. You grab the lintel along the wall, and it just you kind of pull it down, and it causes the door to swing inward. It kind of feels like it's counterweighted and that it's slowly closing again. So it looks like there's only a set amount of time before the door closes.
Door. Is there a way up, like through it?
Yeah, it's like directly in front of you, but it seems to be slowly closing again.
Come on. Trying to go through it. I don't think that other way's the way. That's too obvious.
Yells, I don't know if I can make it that fast.
I'll wait back up with Dovin.
Cogsworth is going there and all that. Nox, are you going into the door, or are you staying out there with Volan and Cogsworth and Dovin?
I'll stay out here.
Okay. So, at about that point, 30 seconds after Topaz opened the door is closed. The wall, let's see. Nope,
Is that another door?
Yep. Looks like all you have to do is press down on it.
I'll do that.
You open up into another chamber. The walls of this chamber are painted flat black, while the floor is inlaid with a colorful mosaic of strange gods cavorting and leaping around a sun. An alcove in the center of the eastern wall is masked by a curtain of shells and beads.
This might have been a mistake.
Does it smell like fresh air? More so?
Roll a perception check. Nah, this smells more like much of the same. It's been no appreciable difference that you can pick up on between this room and the dusty space you were just in.
Topaz, I don't know about this. This room seems kind of like a death trap. I mean, the whole place is a death trap, obviously, but it's starting to get old.
Can we get back down through that other door?
Yes. Topaz, all it requires is just a pushing on that door.
While they're in there, can I climb up the metal rungs in here and
Sure
try to
you
get to
can.
the chest?
That's what you can be doing right as Topaz is, expecting that room and deciding that this is not a good idea. All right, you climb up the rungs, and you're heading over to that hatch.
Yep.
All right. The hatch is it's just made a a bronze circular trap door that's set in the ceiling. It's just latched shut just by a little simple lever. One of those not twisty, not lever, twisty clamp. There we go, clamp thing right on the door. Just looked very easy to open.
All right, I'm gonna try to attempt to open it then.
All right. As soon as you open it, a vast swirl of wind emerges and tries to throw you to the ground. Actually, no, it does throw you to the ground. Because it's just that nasty. Everybody in that room, which is Volin, and I have to roll for Dovin and Cogsworth, now has to make a strength saving throw. Oh, sorry. You take damage, but you're also still clinging onto the ladder. Sorry about that, Noxie. But you also have to roll a strength saving, so to see if you're still on the ladder or if you're thrown off.
It's good rolls. I like these.
Yes, you're still clinging to the ladder, but you do take 3 points of damage from the wind hitting you. Oh, sorry. Volin, you're still upright. Now I have to roll for the other two. And this is just as, Topaz in the other room is saying, I don't like this. This whole place is a death trap. Lobu and Topaz are saying together. And you guys in that little side room hear the explosive wind suddenly rising up in the corridor beyond.
That didn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. Is there a way to open up this hatch from the inside?
Yes.
Lobu will go to it and try and open it and be like, "Are you guys okay?"
Let's
It's
see
so
here.
crazy down here.
Alright, so everybody managed to stand their ground as the wind just came rushing down. Yeah. Let's see, how long does this wind last for? Yeah, okay, so the wind has immediately dissipated, with you guys just managing to stand up to it, stand straight.
Is the hatch still open?
The hatch is open, and... Oh, sorry, never mind, the wind still doesn't die down, the wind is still going, but you guys are all, hanging pretty, none of you have fallen over. And looking up into the wind blowing back your hair and your hood a bit, you can see that there's nothing but that wind coming from that hatch.
All right, I'm gonna try to close it.
Alright, the wind is far too strong to even get a hold of that, of the hatch again. Dobu, Topaz, you guys are heading back into this room? You're opening up the secret door?
Yeah.
So wind begins to buff, you feel pads of wind, and it's really loud in the main area as you guys come back out of there. It's very loud. There's all this wind flying around. Volan's hair is all flying up. Dovin is hanging on to Cogsworth, who's not moving. Cogsworth still seems to be just kind of there, whereas Noxie's up on a rung, and her hood is mostly off from the force of the wind.
Is that not the way out?
Noxie reaches into her pouch to grab a parchment of paper and pulls it out, and it's blown right out of her hands.
Dovin calls, "No! It's just a tornado!"
But is it a way out?
No!
Noxie's just shaking her head.
Noxie says there's nothing up there but the wind!
There's nothing up here but another trapped room.
Noxie's gonna get off of the rungs and make her way out of the room so she's not being oppressed by this wind.
So are you guys still standing in that secret room?
I think, well, if Lobu could tell that he wasn't going to get knocked around by the wind, he'd step down.
Yeah. It's just that the door is starting to close again.
Once Slobo moves out, I'll step through.
Alright. boom. The door has lifted back up behind you, Topaz. The noise attempting to compete with the sound of the wind here in this hallway.
At least we know that's there.
All right, time for the next description. Before you is a foyer, 10 feet wide and 20 feet long. A narrow hall connects with this area on the south side, and on the north end, a 5-foot wide staircase leads up. A wheel is set horizontally, half into the wall in the southwest corner. The wheel appears to be a crank. Above the wheel, a bronze lever is set in the wall, angled downward. And that would be this thing right here.
Can I check for traps in this area?
Sure. You don't find anything of real interest when looking around. All you see before you is the wheel and the stairs. The stairs appear to lead up to some kind of blank wall.
I don't know why, guys, but I get the distinct impression if we pull that lever, we're all going to die horribly.
It's not a lever, it's a wheel. Well, actually,
Yeah.
sorry, there's a lever. The wheel turns only after the lever pushed in. Sorry, there's a lever and the wheel. Sorry. Yeah,
It's all right.
yeah, sorry, it's a, it's one of those, levers that turns, yeah. But above the wheel, there's a lever that's, hold on.
So it's got like a catch, and it looks like maybe the wheel would spin on its own if we were to pull the lever.
No, it's more like if you push that lever, you can manipulate the wheel. That the wheel won't manipulate by accident.
Got it.
Cogsworth
But do we
and Dovin make their way
know
over here.
if this thing is a death trap, though?
Dovin looks at the thing and says, well, anything can be a death trap.
In here, it's more likely it's a death trap than anything.
I guess there's only one way to find out. I'm not super excited about it.
Do you want me to pull this lever and start the wheel, Dovin offers?
Can I try and figure out what the wheel might do exactly?
Let's see, you already rolled an investigation looking around at things. Give me a straight intelligence check.
Ooh, fun. Oh, fun.
Is roll 20... Oh, there we go. I was about to say, I was roll 20 eating the things again. Wow. So, even though, your regular investigation didn't lead anything, you spent some time looking at that wheel and looking around, and, first off, figured that pushing the lever will definitely let you activate the wheel. That's rotating the wheel. Will probably move some things, like possibly move the wall, possibly move the floor. Maybe this, stairs will no longer lead to a blank wall. That maybe that there will be a door there if you just push in the wheel. But it's hard to tell exactly what good the wheel will do or not. But pretty much you'd have to be where Dovin is standing now to operate it.
Does it look like I could maybe operate it from outside the room with like a rope or something?
Well, you can certainly try. But the only angle, you'd have to be pretty much where you're standing now in order to do that. You wouldn't be able to stand, for example, where Cogsworth is standing and do that.
Got it. Well, guys, I don't know. I guess my impulse is that only one of us should be in this room when that lever gets pulled, but I don't know. Up to you, Cap.
I mean, should we do a group vote on this? Because this could impact us all. I don't know.
Noxie raises her hand, and she writes a little on paper, and it says, "I'll stay in the room, and I'll turn the wheel if you want."
Devin smiles at Noxie and says, "No, no, no. Cogsworth is going to be hard to move anyway. How about I stay here and figure out this stuff with the wheel if you like?"
Dude, is it open?
Well, that's all I needed to hear. And then Bobu's gonna walk into the hallway.
I'm walking. So.
So Topaz, you staying there? You coming out?
Staying here.
All right. So Devin kind of looks at the wheel, looks at that, manipulates the crank so that the wheel will go, and begins rotating the wheel. Which you see, the first thing you notice is that the floor directly in front of him and directly in front of Topaz suddenly turns into a giant gaping pit. It's about 10 foot square. It's filled with various bones that you can see down below. And there is a 1 foot wide ledge along the western edge of the pit that you can potentially stand on while working the wheel, which is where Dovin is standing on. And a 6-inch wide footbridge of polished marble that spans the center of the pit from west to east. It is a very tight beam. It's one of those things that Topaz probably, once getting on land, probably practiced on for a while. Sort of monk shit. The monk can easily go back and forth on that. The other thing that this does is that it rotated the wall over here, revealing a... Sorry, I'm hearing a lot of background noise. It's a little bit distracting. Thanks. Revealing an open space, but it appears to be closing rapidly. There's a
Open space where?
right here. You're closing rapidly. Dovin kind of looks around, and pulls down hard on the crank, on the lever. And that seems to stop it. To stop the wall from sliding back. However, a portcullis slams down in front of that. Devin winces. I don't know what we're gonna do about that.
Is Topaz on the other side of it, or no?
Topaz is on the other side of the gap. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you turn it back the other way?
Devin nods and gets doing just that, and that he moves at the lever. He turns the wheel again, puts down the lever again. The pit closes. The portcullis goes away. The entire wall once again is blank. There's no hole there. There's nothing.
If that's the case, do we want to continue going that way, or do we want to go through the gap?
Topaz,
Yes.
make a quick perception check for me. Well, the crank was turned, and, there was a gap there, open. You felt a breeze.
Okay. Where?
Coming from the opening. You don't feel it anymore with the entire wall being blank once more from, but you did feel it when it was revealed.
All right, that's it. So this floor is back up now.
Yes, the entire floor is back up now. Yes,
I'll test it, make sure it's not going to drop out from under me. Is it walkable?
entirely walkable. It looks like it's just manipulated by the wheel itself. Like, you
I'm
just
going
turn
to
the
get a hold of Cogsworth. Is
Cogsworth.
he still not functional? Are we carrying him? What's going on with him?
He's moving, but slowly.
Oh.
So what are you gonna do with Cogsworth?
Well, if he's moving, I can't do it. I thought he was
Well,
unfunctional.
It's more of you can tug him and he'll move, or you can push on his back and he'll move in a certain direction, or it will. It's not like it's, you have to pick it up and get it to move. You just have to push or pull, and it'll move with you.
All right, well then, let's get him across. And put him right there.
All right.
All right, try that again, Dovin.
David nods, moves up the lever, turns the crank. Suddenly, the pit, revealing all the lovely bones, are down there again. And he pulls the lever down, and the portcullis begins to fall. Did you wish
I'm
Cogsworth to...
shoving Cogsworth underneath it.
Okay. Alright. So Cogsworth, as a reflex, attempts to catch the portcullis. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work. I believe he's going to take damage from that.
But he will block it.
Yes. He's currently filling up the door, up the doorway, but he is blocking it. Noxie and or Dovin, in animal form, might be able to squeeze by Cogsworth, but the rest of you are still kind of stuck. What a lucky roll. He's so hard-headed, he only took 4 damage.
I'm not sure I understand how he's filling up the whole hallway.
He's filling up this space, like the portcullis is like jammed into him, and he's kind of like standing there filling up the doorway.
Can't get between his legs?
As I said, Noxie might be able to. Dovin might be able to, form shift. I'm not so certain the rest of you could.
Noxie, seeing this, writes on a note, hacky sack time?
Go. Go now.
Wait, this gap is open while that portcullis is done.
Exactly.
Got a walkway across it.
There is a small walkway. It is a balancing beam. The monk can probably get across that without a problem because, monk shit. The rest of you, it's considered difficult terrain and requires an acrobatics check because your center of balance might shift suddenly. Looking at this, it's kind of like.
I'm sure Noxie could do it.
Yeah, Noxie could probably do it as well.
Noxie sees that balance beam and just tries to walk across it like it's nothing.
So you also do get an acrobatics check. Everybody gets an acrobatics check. I'm just saying is that the monk. Yeah, you're fine. The monk is the monk and the rogue are probably gonna have no problem with that whatsoever. Yeah. The rest of you, it does still look a bit daunting.
Felt wind, Noxie. If you can fit through there, go and see what's past it. It's even worth us trying to get through.
Alright, Noxie will squeeze through and try to see what's up here.
Alright. Yeah, she squeezes. Let's see here. And you find the way out. There's just a gap, there's wall, and right here is the stairs going up. You can even hear birds.
Alright, Noxie runs back down. And she slides a sign under Cogsworth's legs that says exit.
All right, so we just need to figure out another way to hold that up.
Or potentially we could.
Is there a way to position him if we get that thing back up so that he won't be in the way when it comes down again? Or
You could probably, like, get him to move back out from underneath.
no, I want him underneath it. I just want him to be blocking it without stopping the exit.
Given the dimensions of Cogsworth and dimension of the exit, probably not. But roll me a investigation check.
What if he was
See-
laying on his side? Investigation.
Just like see if there's any other option.
Uh-huh.
Well, you
I
might
have
be able
no
to
other
get him.
options.
You might be able to get him on this side. That seems like a valid way of doing things.
All right, Dovin. Need to run that little sequence again.
All right, Devin goes to close it, but kind of like freezes as the wheel doesn't want to turn because the door begins to slide directly into Cogsworth. The floor is still like half there. Cogsworth is being trapped and slowly crushed by the door.
Noxie comes over here and points at Dovin, and then holds the sign.
Noxie, you're actually kind of trapped on the other side at this point,
Oh, okay.
as Cogsworth is crushed and takes crush damage. Dovin's like, ah! And turns the wheel back so that Cogsworth is just kind of there. Cogsworth is looking very stunned and falls over onto his side over here. The portcullis slams down. Noxie is on one side. Cogsworth is kind of laying there on the other.
And the floor is back up.
The floor is back to the balancing beam because that's what Dovin pressed it to get Cogsworth out of the pinch.
Okay.
One
And
last time.
Cogsworth is out now, yeah? Like, Cogsworth is free from the thing?
Yeah, Cogsworth is laying on the ground. Looks a bit damaged.
Okay, Dovin, close the thing, we'll figure it out.
Noxie is still trapped on the other side.
We'll figure it out.
Dovin nods, spins the wheel, so that so that that's now back. The pit is no longer there.
Okay. Alright. So, we're not going to crush him anymore. That just feels fucked up. What if I try to catch
He was down here for centuries before we even got here. He doesn't need to leave.
Yeah, but he's like dinged up now.
It's a thing. It's not even a he.
I guess. Do you want me to catch it? I'm bigger than him. I could probably hold it open longer.
Then
Could
how
we
are you
just-
going to get out?
Squeeze through.
Maybe between the two of us, maybe someone on the other side could hold it and you could slide through.
Yeah, we could try that.
But I actually have to get there, and I don't think there's room for me there.
How quickly does this thing close?
Let's see. There's an actual estimation of that. 1 second. It unwinds quickly, so I'm guessing like 2 seconds.
Lobu? You can make your invisible friend, right?
Oh, yeah. He's not super strong, but
I'm just thinking, maybe if we need to get Dovin over at some point, we could use him to turn the...
smart. That should work just fine, I think.
How long does your invisible friend stay around?
Oh, up to an hour as long as I stay within 60 feet of him.
So maybe I ought to try it now and see if he can turn the wheel while we're all like this.
Yeah. Lobu backs up and starts casting Unseen Servant as a ritual.
Okay. So your unseen servant comes into being.
Hey, Dovin, get out of the way there for a second. Let's see if Invisibuddy can operate that wheel too.
Alright. Yeah, Devin quickly makes his way over there because he doesn't know if he can actually get across that balancing beam when it shows up. So Invisibuddy comes over here and starts the crank. And you once again see the pit in front of you, and you can see a portcullis sliding down over this way. Now that once the Invisibuddy puts on the lever.
This time, could I try to catch it?
Sure. Oops. Roll a strength. What is it? Athletics. You try to grab it, but it gets the better of you, and you quickly have to move your hands out of the way as it slams back down again. And you just see Noxie judging you from the other side.
Okay. Lobu, can you tell your invisible friend to close the door? We're going to move Cogsworth back. Dread, can you help me catch this thing, and we can hold it open while people move?
I'll try.
Alright. So, you're moving Cogsworth back out into the hall? Is that what you're saying? Like there?
Yeah.
Alright. So now Dread and Volan are, get to this side before the beam can come back up. The Invisibuddy causes the thing to rotate once more, revealing the pit, and starts the crank down, which causes the portcullis to arrive.
Okay, so how do we do this roll?
It's whichever of you standing in front, which I believe is Dread at this point, now does athletics at advantage. Because Volan is helping. Dread, just for the hell of it, roll me a perception check.
A what? Perception?
Yep. Alright. Now what would you guys like to do? No, it's fun to see solutions. It is. It's very fun, actually.
Okay, are we trying this again, Dread? Do you want to change positions?
Yeah, we'll change positions and you can try the hard part.
Don't worry about it, we got it.
It's always good to change positions.
Alright. Invisibuddy does the whole crank thing, rotates all over again, and once more the portcullis is coming down. This time, Volan, with the help of Dread, manages to catch it in her beefy arms.
Alright, Topaz, Dovin, go.
And he managed to lift! And it seems to catch right there. It's unlike when Cogsworth was just being used as a doorstop, the portcullis actually stays locked up above you as Volan finishes lifting it. It's not trying to slide back down again. This entire thing is just empty space right now. It's like, you did it!
That's great. Lobu's still on the other side.
Yeah.
As is Cogsworth.
Yeah.
We're the worst two people to be over here.
Okay, everyone else move through, except maybe Dread stay with you.
Throw him a rope.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out some rope. Lobu, catch.
Do I need to do anything to catch it, or do I just get it?
Let's see. Volan needs to roll me a dexterity, like a melee throw, to see if she can actually manipulate that rope properly.
Oh, would that just be straight dexterity?
First catch. Nope. The end. Your end. That end of the rope falls into the pit, well short of Lobu.
Just a second here. And Lobu's going to hand an end of a rope to the Invisibuddy and be like, all right, my friend. I've got full confidence in you. Walk across this lever, or walk across this beam, and hand this rope to Volan.
What sort of stats does your invisibility have? Any?
Let's see.
Because it has AC, it has hit points, it has strength. But does it fly? Does it just walk?
I think I assume that it does just walk.
Okay, so it's not like hovering off things. I'm guessing that it has a strength of 2, but I'm guessing that dexterity-wise, it's like, straight dexterity. So just roll me a 1d20.
Oh.
Even Invisibuddy can't still on. You see that the rope just kind of hovering in the air, and all of a sudden, your end of the rope just falls into that pit, Lobu.
Oh my god.
And suddenly you feel the connection with your Invisibuddy snap as the 10 AC 1 hit point thing dies.
I'll always remember you. Captain, you gotta leave me here. I'm basically dead.
I think you're being a bit dramatic.
Noxie shows Dovin a sign. Bag of holding. And she holds out her hand.
No, oh no. I'll stay here.
Hands Noxie the bag of holding.
Alright, Noxie's gonna run across the beam.
Alright, acrobatics check. You're fine.
Noxie, I'm not. No.
Noxie shows you a
No
sign.
way.
Get in the bag. She opens the bag for you.
I'll help you put in the big guy. It'll be our last act as friends.
Get in the fucking bag!
Lobu, this time we'll let you go immediately. We've learned.
Yeah, he does it, I guess.
Alright. So, first you help Noxie get Cogsworth into the bag. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And even though Cogsworth is big and, all that, Cogsworth can just barely fit into the bag of holding. It just barely has slender enough shoulders to fit past the lip, and therefore can be pushed in. Lobu, then you end up going in. Thankfully, without anybody else in that bag, there's 10 minutes worth of air. Well, Noxie just has to survive getting back across that beam.
She will do so.
Roll acrobatics. Yes.
Oh, okay.
You just barely made it. You felt your foot slip once, almost at the end, and it's probably got your blood pumping. But man, you got 2 other people with you. I mean, one of them will be fine regardless of what happens. But the other one, no. The other one, if something happens, and the bag breaks because you die, well, he's gonna get stranded somewhere or die himself, depending.
All I had to do was not roll a 1.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Basically, yes.
Alright, I'm gonna get under the portcullis, get on the stairway, and then pour them out.
Alright. Lubu, you feel fresh air coming down from up the stairs again. You are alive.
Noxie shoots you a thumbs up.
Let's just get out of here. Lobu's gonna do a dash for the door.
Alright. I'm just gonna copy and drag you guys to the next map. Oops, this map has got slightly different dimensions, sorry. You guys find yourself on... Alright. I'm just double checking something here. I'm just double checking to make sure that the opening this trap isn't something that's a problem on that side of the door that's just on that's the roof.
Got it.
Yeah. So You open that up, you feel fresh air coming in, and you see well, the description is, I think, mostly meant for people actually managing to make it all the way up to the top the other direction. But I will read it to you anyway, just because it's a nice description. This was apparently a large temple of some sort. Once a major building, all that remains are the back wall and enough of the roof to shelter the altar. All else seems closed off by fallen debris. Several pillars have fallen and they litter the floor. Sunlight filters through holes in the roof. 35 feet overhead, which is a maze of chips and cracks, the back wall is covered by a bas relief of a giant bat thing, 9 feet tall, with wingspan of 20 feet. In front of this wall is an altar of stone, carved to represent a mass of squirming rats, weasels, and worms. On the front of the altar is the head of a screaming bat. Jutting above the altar on either side are a pair of sharpened metal bat wings, 8 feet long. The floor in front of the altar is worn smooth. The altar is here. You guys are popping out of the relief as you get out into the sun. And as you do, you see the face of a giant hyena poking its head out from between the ruins, evaluating you guys.
Oh,
Bitch, don't even.
Roll intimidation. The hyena just kind of pauses and watches you for a bit longer, but doesn't come any closer.
Pulling in a deep breath. God. Never thought I would be happy to see the sun.
Yeah, well, we still have to get out of here. We just hope that it doesn't collapse on itself again.
Noxie's just staring at the giant hyena.
The hyena watches for a bit, then goes back to where it was, most likely in its lair, or burrow, or wherever it's living over there. It seems to be watching you guys and thinking that no, none of you look edible, or that they do not look like they're worth the trouble of trying to eat. Devin just kind of wanders around and says, "Ooh, this is neat." Cogsworth is slowly following you. Oh, we're not going to stay here to investigate this? Okay. Devin kind of pulls Cogsworth along.
Dovin, do you want to? I mean, it just kind of looks like ruin.
Yeah, I suppose we've had a big enough day. Maybe we'll come back later and investigate it more.
Stupid compass.
Oh yes, the god compass.
Alright. So,
That is just wrong. You think they could have just flipped it?
yeah, I think that same thing, because most people orient top of the page is north and everything else. It's like, why do they have to make it more complex and do it another way?
I mean, yeah, and like if it's they made it longer north to south than they did east to west, and so they were afraid you couldn't fit it on a map or something.
Yeah. They put multiple levels on that they could have easily, changed some stuff up. It still had the same great effect. So, because you've now completed this particular adventure, you have gone up a level, which I believe is what, level 6?
Hooray.
Alright. Now, is there anything else you would like to do on this particular island, or do you wish to get back to your ship?
I don't think there was anything else we wanted to do unless.
Well, it's up to you guys. You investigated the ruins, got very frustrated by them, and have now decided that it's best just to get out of here. Or at least, leave the altar and all the other things alone that look like they want to draw you in.
There are a number of confusing things that I want to go back and investigate, but it's also probably way better if we just leave.
Alright. Yeah, so you make another trek through there. Have to camp another night. But you all take a long rest and heal up.
I'm gonna take average this time. Don't wanna fail like last level.
Oops, that means another bunch of... Okay, so... Alright, you're down by that many units of food and water. Alright. Because you guys are fine for your own food and water, but your crew happens to have their food and water needs, and I just marked that down on my sheet.
Do we only spend one day in there?
Yeah, that was less than a day, because remember, the ruin itself was pretty toxic and was slowly killing you.
Oh yeah. So we were only in there for like 4 hours.
Felt like a whole year.
Wow, that was it.
Yeah. You spent more in real life time than in game time. And as you sleep on your way to getting back to the Stormy Jack, Lubu has another dream. You there?
Yep.
Just double checking. Alright, so that night, as you lay sleeping in your campsite, potentially hearing like the very distant sounds of drums. Nothing coming towards, but distant enough to some sort of camp. Probably like the goblins that live on this island still. But you just start feeling like you're underwater again. All of a sudden, the comforting piece of it at first, except for that feel around your body of a large tentacle, curled up around you, squeezing slightly till you wake up.
I think maybe the thing that prompted this feeling too was the time spent in the bag of holding with like all those people writhing around me in the dark.
Yeah, that time in the bag of holding, but at least this time you're surrounded by comforting water and can breathe, but you are being constricted somewhat. You see the ginormous curve of a beak and a single eye that could easily, by itself swallow you. It's like, there you are, little one.
I need to be more powerful to help my friends.
I hope you're also spreading my word, spreading my influence, talking of the glories of the water.
I can.
Yes. The water. They will come to understand, or they will be food. There's hardly anything in between that. You wish for more power. What kind of power do you seek, little one?
I want to be more clever, and I want to be able to um, help my friends in that way. They're all very strong, and they seem to have that going for them. Maybe I can do something on the other end.
More strength? More power? What sort of strength do you seek? What makes you think that you can help them?
So out of character, I think I'm going to be taking some invocations to like be able to take on other like there's one where I can cast alter self. No, not alter self. Disguise self at will without expending a spell slot. I wish I could cast alter at this point.
It's always fun. What else are you planning on taking?
I was also probably going to take. Just a second. Fiendish vigor. Yeah, just kind of for now. I think it's a good reflection of taking on more power. So that allows me to do false life on myself without expending a spell slot.
Okay. Those sound useful. So the voice would continue with, to keep yourself alive longer. Do you think that would help them?
Yeah. If I can get up in there and really, distract people, maybe I can help my friends more.
Yes. Well, don't forget to go along out into the water. Don't forget to tell the others of how good the water would be for them.
Just don't hurt my friends, all right?
We shall see. Hello.
Hello.
You too also have a dream that night where you're sitting in front of the fire. The rest of your companions are asleep, and your spirit guardian, I guess, your spiritual companion, the one that's on the other side of the veil, watching over you at times, comes and sits down across from you. You just can see the shadowy outline of her.
Hello.
Hello, Dread. I was getting concerned. That place, I couldn't look into it. Something was blocking on the other side of the veil.
Interesting.
It's not a good place. That place reeks with undeath. And there still is an undeath presence in there. But I suppose it is not quite time yet for you to take that on. Perhaps one day you'll remember this place and come back and deal with it then when you're stronger.
I nod and I say, "Thank you. I'll remember this place. I've fought a lot of undead in there. So if there's more, I will eliminate them. Obviously."
Yes. When you are ready. When you feel strong enough. And perhaps have some proper tools and equipment. Perhaps find a way to survive in that poison gas that's down there. I could sense that much at least, but And she just kind of like steeples her fingers, which, in one way it seemed gloved, but another way it just seemed to be made out of shadow, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, she simultaneously looks like she's in a full body, flowing garment that's complete with gloves, veil, and everything else, and other times just like she's a living embodiment of a shadow. Or, dead embodiment of a shadow, but, not undead. Uh, and she says, yes, perhaps, if you can find a way to keep you alive and keep your friends alive, at some point later, you might be able to come back and deal with it. But yes, not now. Not now, not that place. We can cleanse it later, together, when you are ready.
Okay. I'll remember that.
Keep yourself safe, Dread. And she stands up from the fire.
I will. Nice to see you again.
Always. And in the morning, you guys are able to make it safely back to the ship.
Yay.
Your crew was, slightly concerned. You were gone for about 2 days when everything was said and done. And one of them calls out, you guys bring back any of that gold or treasure that the map promised?
It was all copper.
It was these weird coins, and I hold up electrum piece.
Some of the 6 crew are just kind of whispering to each other. And they said, oh, what's that? And they point towards Cogsworth. You find a metal person?
It's a doorstop.
Doorstop. Sure.
Paperweight.
Noxie's going to fry up those fire beetle eggs for breakfast.
We're going to use it as a spare anchor.
Chef Noxie is on the case. So your crew gets ready to depart. Gets the ship ready for departure. Dovin, I imagine, goes and, summons Callie back at this point. Actually, I forget which of these is Dovin's room. I thought we had those marked off whose room is whose at this point. Because I know Noxie's room is over here. But everyone else's room, I had no idea.
Volan is here, because that's the captain's quarters, I believe.
That's why I was wondering why Callie was in there. But,
Spying on me.
probably. Cogsworth is just kind of hanging out on the deck of the ship, not doing anything. What are the rest of you guys doing?
We should probably talk about what we want to do next, right? I mean, I think we're probably done here. We could go back to Saltmarsh and sell what we already have, or maybe we go somewhere else. We have this map. We were supposed to be looking for pirates.
We have to go and check out the skull and crossbones.
Right.
Noxie nods in agreement.
I suppose we had our fun. How long do we think that would take, looking at the map?
Let's see, looking at the map. Let's see, it would have been 65 miles from Saltmarsh, but from here, let's see. I have to do the measurements real quick. So that would be 65 miles. Let's see, that limit is 50 miles. There to there. From where you are now to there is
Looks pretty close by on the map.
Yeah, I'm just making a quick calculation here. Because I'm trying to go with, like, that to that is, 50 miles, so it's that many notches on my on my thing. Yeah, this is less than 50 miles, but it's more than. Oh wait, I think it's the same length as that to that. Oh, that's right, because it's not. I'm not trying to measure it from this map. I'm trying to measure it from the other stupid map that has the official map that I have. That's why it doesn't look the same. I was like looking at that going, why isn't that measuring the same? That looks like it's the same there, but why is that 50 and that one's 25? Because I have it from the original friggin' map, which has different lengths. I was just doing this one because it's closer in. That explains things. There we go. Okay, so. Oh, I was even measuring to the wrong island. That explains a few things, too. Oh, no, I wasn't. I was measuring to the right island. Yeah, it's actually very close. Yeah, in fact, that's 10 miles. It's a mere 10 miles away.
That's much closer than I thought it'd be. How long do we think that would take us to ride over?
Let's see, 2 miles per hour. That will take you just 5 hours to get there.
Oh, we could get there today if we wanted to go.
Not in that big a hurry.
I mean, did you all want to head over right now? Because we're close. Otherwise, we could head back to Saltmarsh.
Sorry, I spaced for a minute. Which place are we going? The Skull Island?
Yeah. It's about 5 hours away.
Possibly pirate hideout.
As long as we're out here, we might as well check it out, huh?
Yeah, it could be a summer vacation compared to where we just came from, as far as we know.
Feel like it might
Exactly.
be way easier to deal with. But yeah. So in that case, let's head out in that direction. We should also discuss payment for the crew because we did find quite a bit of things we could sell. But that's a discussion for
We did? What did we find?
like tons of. Hold on, let me check the party loot. We found tons of fosses. We found crystal sphere. We found daggers. We found rings. We found jasper. We found obsidian eyes. We found quite a bit, but we have to sell it first, of course.
Well, I'm repairing my net.
Well, I guess we could always. I've kind of been wanting to go and check out that other bigger town just to the south of. Where we started, Saltmarsh.
The port city of Oran.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean we could visit there too and sell some junk, or we could do Skull Island and then swing back around.
So, anybody have an opinion?
I think it depends on what we want to do next. Do we want to explore other islands after the Skull and Crossbone Island? Because if that's the case, we should head back to Orin, head to the Skull and Crossbone, and then we could head out from there to other islands. If we don't, it makes sense to head straight to the Skull and Crossbone and then to Orin, and then maybe back to Sultan. So it's really up to whether or not we want to keep exploring.
I wish we had like stones of far speech to talk to the old war front.
We're probably going to have to go back after that, see what's happening.
I vote Skull Island, then Big City, and then back on the Salt Marsh, personally.
Depends on what we find on Skull Island. If that turns out to be a pirate holdout, then we've got to go back and take action on that. Well, they would want us to.
I wouldn't mind knocking some less centaur mummy skulls.
Noxie writes on a note. I vote for Skull Island, then City, then Salt.
That sounds like a good plan.
All right, then that's the way we're heading. Topaz, if you could lead us, that'd be fantastic.
I'll set a course.
Noxie will go into her room to do first mate things.
And I'll be right back in just 1 minute. I left the information in. I just realized I left the information in my notebook bag. Right back.
I feel both very relieved and very cheated that we totally skipped out on what was probably going to be a boss fight in there.
Wanted to check out that madness room, but I know it was a bad idea.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I knew what it was. I didn't want to deal with that.
This is a
What is
gibbering
it?
mouther, for sure.
Yeah, gibbering mouther. It's like this horrible flesh monster with like a bunch of tooth mouths on it.
It's nasty, too. If I'm remembering correctly, just like being around it makes you like unable to act or something. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's like you have to make a wisdom saving throw or something. And then it's also got this horrible yellow goop around it that like I think it makes. I'm not actually sure.
Okay, back.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the final boss to that temple was the hill, but
I'm guessing we never ran into the ogre mage pictured on the cover.
No, you did not.
How we missed it. Ran
You
into
missed.
everything else.
You guys missed a whole little area down there. In fact, I think you missed, in a couple tiny small areas. In here.
I'm not heartbroken.
No, but that dungeon really takes a lot out of you, because, considering that, it doesn't let you rest because of the poison.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Honestly, we didn't take a whole lot of damage from enemies. Mostly we seem to take damage from traps and each other a little bit.
Yo!
except for that time I triggered a lightning trap.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got a very excited cat that just jumped into my arms. And he's currently making a lot of noise against my headphones, so I'm very sorry.
Oh yeah, and the bag of holding incident.
Yeah, that bag of holding incident nearly killed more than half the party. But the GM and me was actually sitting here laughing about it because I was like looking at that, investigating the time, going, yeah. It's like one of those unfortunate potential TPKs. The party was all in a bag was in a bag of holding, and somebody forgot that how much air was in there.
I can't imagine the look on like Volan and Topaz's faces as she opens the bag of holding and a bunch of our corpses come out.
Yeah.
What? What?
Topaz, you said they had 20 minutes.
Am I a wizard?
All right. So, 5 hours go by sailing on the high seas. Well, maybe not the high seas because you know that there's islands out there. But 5 hours go by sailing. You know, Topaz, make an intelligence check as you are the navigator. Make sure you're heading in the right direction.
Use my water vehicle's proficiency.
Yes.
Intelligence.
Yes. And it takes you the 5 hours to get to the location shown on the map as a skull and crossbones. At this point, I need everybody to roll me wisdom saving throw.
What?
Wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Since you're all near me, you get +5 to your save.
Shit. I'm not.
How far around you do you have to be?
10 foot.
I'm kind of doubting the majority of people are anywhere near you.
Okay.
Well, I guess we crashed on the rocks because of the sirens. Well, Dread will be fine.
Well, yeah, Topaz unfortunately is definitely affected. This is not good because she's the one navigating.
Dread will just watch in horror as everyone else fails.
Yeah, I don't know where that +2 came from.
Bruh, how are they rolling better wisdom than us?
I don't know.
Because we all have PTSD from that temple.
Does that mean some of us that already had PTSD has it double?
Mm-hmm.
Potentially. Or it's just increased.
This is how we become murder hobos. Night shivers. Like, lose our crap at the drop of a hat.
Alright. So, the wisdom save is only at 11. So, anybody that got more than 11 is fine. Go back up and look at the party and go, yeah.
So
Yeah.
most of the crew, but
Oh, I didn't roll for Dove.
Do Lobu and Volan get that +5 since we're close to Dread, or no?
Actually, I would say yes. The two of you would, because you are probably close to Dread.
Ooh.
Unlike poor Topaz, who is not.
Just passed.
Okay, yeah. Dovin's fine. It's like, oh, what's that? As a song begins to play.
Yeah.
It's such a magical melody that it's so beautiful. And you just can't do anything but head towards that island. It's a beautiful island, but to you right now, it's nothing but beautiful. But from anybody else that's not, under this effect, they're looking out and all they're seeing is this large, rocky landmass rising.
Is our
up from
mind
the water.
otherwise still our own as far as being able to act upon our
Let me double check on that.
Because if so, I'm navigator. I'll set a course for the island.
Your minds are okay, but it's the equivalent of you're basically you're charmed, and the action of charming is that you want to get there because everything there is beautiful.
Yep. Yelling at the sailors to set a course for the island.
And some of the sailors are like going along with you, while others are like, what? And they're running towards the ones that succeeded are running to the captain, going, Captain, we're headed right for the huge fish's rocks.
Topaz, what the fuck?
Volan, you also have been charmed, so as far as you're concerned, this is fine.
I thought Lobu and I got +5.
Oh,
too.
never mind, you did get +5. You're right. Sorry, I was.
Well, you are you even on the top deck, or are you down the?
So Volan, that's right. Volan, Dread, and Lobu are fine, but everybody else is everyone else in the party is currently and Dovin, but he doesn't really know what's going on. But everyone else in the party is incapacitated by the siren song, and believing that the rocks are someplace great that they want to be, and the ship is just heading right there. Volan, what do you do?
Fucking run up to Topaz and yell out, do not set course for the island. We have our own goal. We're not going towards the fucking rock.
No, we're going to the island.
No.
Oxy's gonna jump up and slap Volan.
I swear to God.
Noxy, don't even. Do you even know how strong you are? You could have knocked the captain's face off.
I'm gonna roll to attack. Is it just strength?
Yeah. you somehow miss, Noxy, and you feel like you sprained your wrist.
Dread, help me get this net on her.
I'm running
Take
over to
3
Topaz.
Noxy, you strained it so badly that you take 3 points of damage.
All
So
right.
I'll help put the net on Noxy.
Does that? Oh, I'm gonna run.
Everyone's like, what's going on? Noxy!
Do I get a chance to net her before she bolts?
Roll contested dexterity saving throws, guys.
Oh,
Okay.
Contested dexterity?
Noxy!
Uh-oh.
Noxy runs before you get the net on her, even though Dovin's yelling, Noxy, stop!
Seeing as the boat is not going to the best island, I'm jumping overboard.
Actually, Topaz is still navigating there because Topaz is the one that's in charge of navigation.
Alright, then
Roland
never
might
mind.
be the captain yelling orders to the crew, but Topaz is the one that has the wheel. And because of that, she is steering you towards the island.
Alright
Can I-
then.
Grab the wheel from her.
That would be a contested strength check, guys.
You can come make my way up there as well.
Am I on the wheel? I don't know if that means I actually steer. I guess.
I believe it does because you're the navigator.
Okay.
So I kind of envisioned you behind the wheel.
Strength or athletics?
Strength. We're doing contested strength on this. Oh! You're so enraptured by the song that you're barely holding onto the wheel now that you haven't pointed towards the island. Volan manages to wrest free control of the wheel and yanks it hard,
Hey!
steering you away from that island.
Going to the island.
Topaz, I swear to God I'll kill you.
Is the door to Noxy's room open currently?
Noxy, is it?
Yes.
Lobu is going to fire. Oh, this is going to be bad. How's your health? Hopefully it's fine.
It's really good.
Doesn't matter. Okay. Lobu's going to cast Torrent at Noxy and just like blast her into the room.
Dexterity save?
Yep.
Yeah,
Noxy is very quick. She just jumps up as the water comes and scrambles up onto
I still
on
take-
the next deck, I imagine. you take half damage as your legs get wet and you feel buffeted even as you climb up to the next deck.
Noxie, go to your room.
Noxie writes on a sign and shows it to these two commoners here. As first mate, I order you to start sailing to the island.
The commoners are both besides themselves with.
I think we're back here too, because we'd have to be back by the wheel. Who's going to be in the back of the ship?
Well, the wheel's right here. You can see that on the.
No, that's the anchor.
Oh, you're right. That is. Why am I confusing those two? Okay, well, whichever side the wheel is on, because I have no idea. I'm not a ship person in my
Yeah,
life.
you'd be right here or somewhere on that deck.
But let's see. None of those commoners are charmed. This person over here is under the effects of charm. There's like 2 of the commoners that are charmed. Yeah. So that guy there and this person over here are both charmed. For ease of that, so is Noxie and Topaz. But these two are like, Captain,
Give me the wheel back.
Dread, please grab her.
Give me the wheel back. Biatch, do not do this.
I'm going to assist Topaz.
Oh my fucking god.
On the sailor, set course for the island. Listen to the captain. She's on the rag. Give me the
I
wheel
am
back.
The captain.
Oh god. So Dread, you get strength. Strength. You just get a strength. A straight athletics check. Topaz, you get advantage contested against Dread.
Oh, great.
Because Noxie is trying to help you. So yeah, you get free of Dread, but Topaz is still holding on to the wheel.
I'm fighting Bolin for it now, though, right? So
Bolin's still holding it. Yeah, Bolin's still.
Bolin's got it. I'm trying to get it back from Bolin. I'm still telling the sailors that were listening to me to set sail for that island. So I guess if they're doing sails and rigging, we have mixed signals going on, or some of them not.
Like these two down here are attempting to restrain this guy down here who's busy trying to fix the sails so they can head back to that island. The other
Could be bad depending on the wind. 'Cause if we're like setting sails at different angles and half the guys are doing this and half the guys are doing that, we could capsize or not go anywhere or something.
Or is this guy over here is waiting by the anchor? So what would you guys like to do?
Go to the island.
I'm navigating back towards where we were supposed to be going.
Get off. Going to the island.
Topaz, I swear I'll rock your jaw.
Can I try and persuade Noxie to go into her barrel?
You can try.
Damn it.
Noxie, if you get in your barrel, maybe you can float there. I'll even heave you overboard if you want.
Noxie stops and ponders.
The guy down on the deck currently is restrained by the other two. He's yelling, "Get off! Get off!"
Now, because I am charmed, would I just straight up believe this?
You are charmed not by Lobu. Lobu is acting funny as far as you're concerned. Because Lobu doesn't want you to go to the island. But if Lobu is saying that they'll do something to help you get to the island, you might believe that.
Do you want a persuasion?
Yeah, roll persuasion, and I'll. All right. Noxie nods and excitedly hurries to her barrel.
Topaz, you feel Noxie no longer helping you.
Stop being Bolin. Stop being a bully.
I'll assist Bolin.
It's not the love. Look at that island. Which is pit stop along the way. Let's go.
No.
And then Lobu sits on top of Noxie's barrel.
Lobu, she's the strongest member. What are you doing?
Just doing my best, Captain.
I'm gonna try and push Lobo off with my great strength.
But Lobo, you still have to roll a strength
Wait.
check of your own. Just
Couldn't I roll a Constitution check for my strength or my weight?
it's still a strength check to
Yeah.
hold the barrel top down, even though you're sitting on it.
Well,
you're fine.
10.
She can't even shift it. Meanwhile, Dread and Volan, Dread, are you attempting to grab Topaz away still, or are you just helping Volan keep control of the wheel? I mean, yeah.
I'll have Vaughn keep control of the wheel.
All right.
Spending a key point. Flurry of blows.
Who against?
First one's going to be Volan. Second one's probably going to be Dread.
Isn't Flurry of Blows require you to do an attack action first? Start of an attack action first. Before. Yeah. Okay, so who you?
I'm going to be doing that.
Okay.
So the. Let's see. This is actually. I'm just trying to trip him up, basically.
Okay.
So. That's on Volan. Non-lethal, at least.
Yeah.
That's Dread. Probably misses.
Yeah, it misses.
Flurry of blows.
Who's the Flurry of Blows against?
Well, this one will be Dread.
It's also knocking harmlessly against their armor.
Who's got more control over the wheel, Volan or Dread? Volan?
Volan does, and I think you might have just stunned her a bit, which means you can attempt to wrest the wheel from her again with a contested strength check on both sides.
Okay.
Well, how does me assisting help?
You are currently unable to assist because you are instead, you're just fighting off that attack. Whereas Volan has currently been stunned from the... Not really stunned, but
I still had one more flurry of blows. I might as well... That might actually hit Dread. I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
So, deck save or... No, yeah, deck save. Might make a difference in this next roll.
Deck save.
Yeah, you find yourself getting bowled over by her fists. Just as
I got her dumped on her butt, and Volan's slightly stunned, so I guess you can't help her. So strength on strength with Volan now?
Yep.
I rolled a 24.
Yeah.
And I would like...
Topaz strained herself while punching Dread.
Yeah, laying there, I look up at Topaz and I say, drop. And I use command.
Oh.
Wisdom?
Yes, DC of 16.
And was I hearing Volan deciding she's raging at the same time?
I said I was going to make 2 reckless attacks against Topaz.
Okay.
I just dropped to the deck.
So yeah.
Oh no, I drop whatever I'm holding, which is nothing.
Which is the wheel, technically. You're trying to hold the wheel, trying to grab hold of the wheel, and...
Okay.
Nox this entire time has been weighing her options between barrel and island, and she attacks her barrel from the inside.
No!
Lobu's going to see that happening and cast what is it called? Sorry. Disguise Self, and is going to prep for Noxie's inevitable breaking out of the barrel to look like Topaz.
Alright, well I'm gonna attack.
At this point, by the way, you can re-roll your wisdom saving throws. Especially Topaz, who, after being in a little fight there.
Yeah,
you attack your barrel and you hear it splinter, and that's enough to break you out of this thing that's, your beloved barrel now has a hole in it.
It'd be with a +5. That'd be an 11 for Topaz, but not that it helps, probably.
Actually, an 11 would you snap you out of it? Because the DC is 11.
She just stares blankly at Lobu and then looks back at her barrel.
There's now
I'm
a big
staring
crack,
blankly
crack
too. What the hell am I? Why are you laying there?
I kind of smile up at you and I said, the deck's awfully slippery.
Looking around at the sailors and looking at our bearing. You idiots! What are you doing?
The sailor's down there. The other sailor also seems to pull out of their charm and like,
Set course for the skull and crossbones. Idiots.
Yell back. That's what we're trying to avoid.
Hey, Topaz, real quick. That's to be fair. We're even now.
Ah, ow! What was that for?
I don't know. This fat lip that you gave me?
Talking about. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I do that? Wait.
Oh, yeah. We're even now. But
Noxie's so
get off the
confused.
deck.
Noxie was having a good sail, and then all of a sudden there's a hole in her barrel. She's really upset.
You okay?
Starting to get an idea of what happened. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm gonna step in and plant a big fat kiss on Emily and suck on that swollen lip.
Oh, please.
Little pain to go along with the pleasure.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dread will lay hands on herself and get her hand back.
Noxie just points at the hole in her barrel.
All right, you're back to normal. And then Lobu goes over and casts mending on the barrel, trying to repair it.
The barrel fixes itself right back up. It looks perfect again.
Noxie looks like she makes a sigh of relief and just kind of walks out. Oh, and she shows you a sign. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just glad that's over.
Were we still hearing the song or no?
It's in the distance, but it's no longer affecting any of you.
So did I hear right that we were trying to head to Skull Island? That's where the song was coming from?
Yep.
Oh my fucking god. When we said that we were going to our death, that's what the skull and crossbones meant. Maybe we were right. It meant death. Great. I knew it was too on the nose. I knew it.
That had to be the real money sign, but
I guess we're turning around.
I mean, unless the smiley face really does mean, oh, this is a safe place for us.
Well, they were pirates. They're not the brightest bulbs.
there was treasure on the money island.
Sure, let's go.
How long do we think it would take us to get there?
Let's see here. Open my map back up. Let's see, you guys are here at the moment. looks to be about 50 miles away, according to your map.
Alright, we have a choice to make. Do we want to head to the Smiley Face Island, or do we want to go to Orange? Any strong
Yeah.
opinions?
How far to the smiley face?
50 miles?
We're already out here.
Noxie just draws a smiley face on a note and shows it.
Okay, Lobu Dread.
I'm for it.
Alright, in that case, Topaz, if you would be so kind to lead us towards the Smiley Face Island, and this time I'm going to be up on the deck watching.
That's all you want. I know you're into that.
And with that, with this shortened session and some people here, and I know some other people that need to leave early, we're going to end right here. Seems like a good spot.
Cool.
For making your way towards the island with the smiley face on it.
Are we getting at least the benefits of a short rest on our way there?
Oh, I'm sure you'll get at least one long rest. I think that's...
Okay.
Let's see, since it's... Trying to make my quick rough estimates of
Our
how long it is.
self-inflicted hit points back.
Oh yeah, I said you'll definitely have at least one long rest in there. Let's see, so 50 miles. Hold on. My math skills are failing me right now. Yeah, it'll take
Felt like a
you-
7-year-old trying to take the wheel back from Volan.
Yeah,
like-
it'll take you at
Bullet
least...
something to bu-
It'll take you at least a full day to get there, which means you'll definitely have a long rest.
I can't believe we were right about the skull and crossbones. I'm sick of this.